Welcome everyone. Welcome to the GMP on Air session with the working from home edition this time. In the following 1 hour, we will be talking about the creative excellence in DV360 and basically how to create great ad experiences using the various products in the Google marketing platform. So a quick introduction about us. My name is Anıl Görgülü. I'm working as a DV360 Media Solutions Manager in the Google's EMEA headquarters in Dublin. And in this session, we have Alexandra with us. Alexandra, would you talk about yourself a little bit?
Hi, everyone. I work with Anil in the same team. I'm also a DV360 Media Solutions Manager working from Dublin, covering the Russian market.
Cool. So in today's agenda, we will be talking about the role of creatives in the campaign performance, and then we will talk about the creative workspace and collaboration opportunities that brings media teams and creative teams together. Then we will do a quick introduction of the various creative solutions under the Google Marketing Platform umbrella, and then we will showcase some of the good and engaging formats that you can use with DV360. And in the wrap-up, we will share some tips and also some opportunities with you. We have already received some of the questions that you have pre-submitted before this session, so we will go over them as well. But in case of you have new questions, just write them onto the chat box, so our team will try to reply your questions as well. So let's start with the quick introduction on the role of creatives and the essence of this session. So with the advancements in the programmatic landscape, we became able to find the right person at the right moment and buy that impression in a smart way. However, the creative itself is also very important because in the end, we want to convey a powerful message to the audiences that you reach. So therefore, we need to find better ways to convey our message and enhance our creatives, because with the advancements, while the advancements on the programmatic landscape going on, also the consumers are evolving into audiences. In the beginning, they were actively looking for your products, but now they spend so much time in the online world, and they are looking for stories and also inspiration. So the way we tell our story to them should also adapt to these new changes, because there are lots of different signals that we as audiences receive in our digital activities. So therefore, now the brands are competing for the consumer's time and attention. So we need to find better ways to deserve that time and attention of the customer. So there are some interesting industry research and opinions about this as well. For example, Forrester predicts that hyper-targeting will switch to hyper-focus on the creatives, because while the creative ad tech is improving the ad quality and cross-channel storytelling opportunities, the cheap-looking, more product-focused display ads of the past is now in decline. And also, there is a large audience overlap and competition with the brands. So therefore, we need to be able to design creatives with conversions in mind or the business objectives, and find basically better ways to stand out from the competition. So in short, creativity and innovation in the creative itself is a must if we want to engage our top audiences. So if there is no creativity in the process, and there is no party in the end for us. Also, Google's internal researchers show that like the 70% of the campaign performance comes down to creatives. And that's the reason we are working on to improve our capabilities and opportunities in the DV360 and also the larger Google Marketing Platform landscape. So now I will hand over to Alex, and she will talk more about the creative collaboration opportunities that you can consider.
Thanks, Anil. So why do we strongly encourage creative collaboration? First, because we don't see it that often. Many times, designer team is just disconnected from the whole process, from the data, while we see a 150% increase in performance when the creative and media teams work together. So how do you collaborate to accomplish your goals? We'll take you through the why and the how. So the why, there are 3 key mind shifts for a fluid creative process. improve data literacy of your creative team, give them access to your data, and drive an agile process. Why this is important? Because when the designer team just creates based on the brief, they don't have any background of the campaign, they don't have any data. If you give them an idea, what are they doing for who, how many people can see their campaign and their creative, it would really help to improve the communication between the teams, first of all, and make your process more efficient. So the new creative workspace, it is built, if you log in and look at the workspace, it's built exactly to drive collaboration between data, media, brand, and creative teams. Again, if you're a big brand and you have all of these teams, this solution will help you to bring them all together. If you're a small advertiser and these teams, still for you it will be a very useful, easy, let's say, before. So next one, please. We're introducing the new role. It's called creative user. What can they do and what can they not? So creative users can upload, create, and edit and delete creatives from the format gallery. So you give them access. It's at the level of your advertiser. The creative users can access anything related to the formats within this interface. Also, they can see the media plan, some performance metrics, campaigns, audiences, resources, and settings in a read-only access. Again, just like I said, this is important for them to understand the idea and the background of every single campaign. Also, they can run standard reports when the campaign is ongoing, and for example, you adjust the creatives, you want to address different audiences separately, the creative team can run reports directly, look at the data, and bring their suggestions to the table. What can't they do? They cannot see any cost-related data. So if, for example, you outsource your creative process to an agency, to any third party, they won't see any cost-related data, which makes it, let's say, data compliant. They cannot create or edit campaigns, audiences. They have a read-only view. So again, they can edit only the creative assets. They cannot report on cost-related metrics since they don't see anything cost-related, and they cannot add or remove users. You, as an advertiser, would be the creative admin, so you can add multiple creative users, you can remove them, you can see the reports that they run, and you can be on top of the whole process at all times. Now the how. So when you give someone a creative user role, when they log in, they're brought to a personalized landing page. They have access to this new creative workspace. You see it on the slide. It allows you to quickly see the latest creatives, what have they done. They can directly upload rich media assets. They can report on custom rich media metrics. They utilize Ad Canvas, and we'll take you through it in a moment. And they can build data-driven creatives in a very easy-to-use workflow. We'll take you through it during our demo. This is the Ad Canvas, the actual creative space. It's a visual creation tool where your designer team produces the great artwork. There are some new features available. It allows you to preview sheets now, which is very easy to share with the client for a preview. The Ad Canvas allows your team to easily build dynamic ads with just a click. It literally happens within minutes, so it's easy not just to build, but to edit based on the client's feedback, for example. There are new creative variations that can be assembled in Ad Canvas, so you can duplicate one creative and adjust some things. So then you put everything in the preview sheet and have all the variations in the one place. There are a lot of custom formats. We'll take you through it. There is bulk variant management for data-driven creatives. Again, during the demo, we'll show you why do you need it and why it makes the process more comfortable. There is a drag and drop and copy-paste functionality. So again, very easy to use. All the real-time updates are visible. So for example, if your creative user is working on the project, you can see it from your interface in real time. You can do it in drafts, and there is a small video where you can learn how to use Ad Canvas. So when we share the presentation, you'll have the instruction handy. Otherwise, we'll do a demo where you'll see how it works. To sum it up, there are 6 main steps to collaboration in Display and Video 360. Insights: give your teams enough data, give them, let's say, the common language that they speak to each other, give them the clear brief. The brief powered by the data is much more easy to build upon. The creative itself, you design a format for the ad canvas, you measure it, you download the basic reports for reach metrics, and the media and the production. So the parts where you publish the creatives and you build optional dynamic rules. If you follow the process, considering every step of the way, it really will change the way you look at the process, which sometimes can be complicated. But with all these features, you really have a common workspace to work on. Now I'll pass it on to Anil. He'll take you through the creative tools that we have.
Thank you, Alex. Ad Canvas is a great and easy to use tool within DV360, but we also have other options. So one of them is the Google Web Designer. It is our free authoring tool that allows you to create powerful HTML5 or AMP HTML ads. It really simplifies the creative development process because you can just use the drag and drop components and the experience. And also you can validate your ads real time because you can see the changes and the impact of every step that you took. And also it is already integrated with Google products such as Google Ads, DV360 and Studio. So it really streamlines the creative creation process. With Google Web Designer, you will have full control of your authoring actions. You can create interactive, animated, dynamic, and responsive media creatives. It is already have a good level of integration, but we're still working on to make it better and make it more functional in the future. You can, depending on your choices, start from a scratch, or you can use the pre-built templates for your creatives. You may want to check richmediagallery.com. You can reach the Google Web Designer there and also see how brands are using it. There are a huge showcase library that other advertisers are showcasing their creatives created by the Google Web Designer. So therefore, it makes Google Web Designer our top authoring tool for quickly creating display content to be used across Google products. Using the DV360 Creative Workspace, we have a format gallery in there so that you can browse the formats that you may want to use. After you selecting your format, you can easily switch to the Google Web Designer within the interface, and you can incorporate your rich media assets. And then you can create your creative and then easily send it back to Ad Canvas for maybe some extra fine-tunes or maybe dynamic rules. So after finalizing your ads, you can just start to serve your new creatives to your targeted audiences. I just mentioned that there is the drag and drop functionality. It is more focusing on the design, but if you prefer to hand code some of the features or the elements of your creative, you can also do it with the Google Web Designer. It has a coding workspace, so you can amplify your creatives with your own codes. Another tool is under the Google Marketing Platform ecosystem. It is called Studio. Within Studio, you can host your assets so that you will have a single source for all your creatives, and you can label them and organize them. You can develop advanced dynamic creatives in large volumes and in advanced cases, such as API integrations. And you can also do the quality control, like debugging of the completed post-creative builds within Studio. So the workflow is also very simple. you can just import your assets from various sources, such as your own creative files, Google Web Designer, or HTML5 files. In Studio, you can collate them, you can label them. You can also incorporate your rule feeds and various creative strategies. And after finalizing your creative, you can connect it to Campaign Manager and then start serving. Now I will again switch back to Alex, and she will start with the various formats that we can benefit from DV360.
Thank you. And yes, indeed, there are a lot of them. So we strongly encourage you to go in the interface and explore the formats by yourself. There are 3 types of formats based on how much we have to customize them. So the impactful formats, they don't require any customization. You can if you want to, but if you don't have the assets, you can just run it. The standout formats, it needs medium customization, and the premium ones that needs really some work to be put in. So we will focus today on low customization products because first of all, they're available to use for everyone, whether you're a big or a small advertiser. You can just go ahead and create a great ad within minutes, and because it has the highest reach of all, so it does not limit you in terms of reach. It fits into almost any ad slot available. Yeah. So in a nutshell, data-driven creatives allow you to personalize your ad based on audience and multiple contextual signals in real time and at scale. So to deep dive in it a little bit and to explain, so data-driven creatives, when you make it, it allows you to decide what content will be personalized. So we'll walk you through it in a bit, and it allows you to use data and tech to assemble the right combination of the assets in real time and at scale. So how does it look like? There are multiple assets, multiple elements with which you assemble your creative. So for example, it has an image, a video, an ad copy, your logo, call to action, and the landing page. With a dynamic creative, you can edit any part of it, and you can put a trigger on every element. So for example, you can put an audience trigger on an image, and the image will be different based on the audience that you choose. Or you can change the call to action based on the language. You can write it in a different language, the ad copy and the call to action. So let's go through all the triggers in a second. Yes. So these are all the data-driven creative strategies that are available now. So every single one of them is a trigger that you can put on any element of your ad. First one is the location, the most basic one. It starts from the country, so you can change the text language based on the country where you're serving the same creative. It goes all the way to a postcode or proximity to a specific location. So for example, you are a supermarket and you have an offer for a certain product. If you see a person close to this location, you show them the product that is on sale in this particular location. And for the other one, you show a different product. There is the audience and the remarketing. So audience, you tailor your message based on the audience's interest. So now we're talking about DV360. You can see all the standard audiences built in DV, and you can change. For example, movie lovers, you show them one product that you think would be more relevant to them, and I don't know, shoppers, you show them something else. Remarketing is when you change your ad based on if the user knows you already and it's a loyal customer, or they've never been on your website. Again, it would be great when you automatically in real time the ad adjusts itself and you show the more relevant message. Then there are the context triggers when you adjust the elements based on placement, app category, or keywords. There's the day parting and technology. So it just changes based on time of the day. For example, in the morning hours, you can say good morning or however you want to address. And then the technology based on the device. So the mobile and desktop, again, you can change any element. Also, you can upload offline events and build your ad based on that. For example, something is there is a sports event in town, and you want to build your ad around it, or there is a weather change. We have a case study, we'll show it to you in a bit. You can also adjust it. So all these triggers, you don't have to use all of them at the same time, but you can choose how to be really personal with every user, and you do it in bulk, and you can scale it up. You don't have to spend hours choosing the right image, the right text, split it into multiple audiences. All of that happens automatically, quickly, easy, straightforward. Next slide. Okay, so the format options for creatives, as you can guess, there are two options. There is the pre-built and the custom one. So the pre-built, you can just log in, go in the interface, and you don't require anything else to build the ad. And the custom ones where you would use Google Web Designer or Studio or both. Here are the pre-built data-driven formats. So these three formats that we just talked about that have these triggers that can be put on any part of the ad. Panorama, you see it consists of image, multiple text, call to action, and the background and the logo. The cue card, here you have the background image and the text. When you scroll, the text changes, so you can tell the user a short story about your brand or about promotion, whatever you want. And there is the black slate. It's just simple image. It can be an image or a video at the background and a short catchy description of the ad, of your brand or of your product. All of these parts can be customized based on the data-driven triggers that we've just gone through. If you want and you have the opportunity and you have all the right assets to customize it, you can customize any part of both data-driven and any other creatives. You can, with the use of Google Web Designer. So you build your assets not with, for example, you can use your brand font or the brand colors if you cannot see them in the pre-built interface, and again run data-driven creatives, but with the assets that you already customized. Case studies. So the first case study is about the bulk option of the data-driven creative. So Sony had a case. We won't go deep into it. You can have a look, but in a nutshell, they needed, based on the brief, around 400 different creative variations. And if without this, the option of data-driven creatives, they would have to build all these variations from scratch and monitor and adjust it to the right audiences manually. This feature allowed them to do it all in bulk, and the creative variations were automatically adapting to the audiences that were set in the beginning. As a result, 144 hours saved on production and double the CTR because they were personalized. It's always better to rely on the algorithm than manually put the creatives to the audiences or other triggers. So great feature, works for big launches and when there is a lot of customization needed. The second case study, let's play the video. It really talks for itself.
Nobody wants to drive a cabriolet in the rain. So when Audi launched the new A3 Cabriolet this spring, we created a smart mobile ad to let people enjoy a test drive in the sunshine. Using live weather data and geolocation, the ad recommended the perfect day to take a test drive at a dealership nearest to you. You could choose the most convenient day to drive and make a booking directly from the ad. Even invite a friend along for the ride. Incorporating weather data in a smart way guaranteed a great result. Everyone who booked through the ad got the best product experience possible. A test drive of the new A3 Cabriolet, roof down in the sunshine.
So the ad really speaks for itself. Two great case studies. There are many more. You can find them on the GMP Academy website. Please take a look and go ahead and create great ads. Now, moving on from data-driven creatives, there are these high-impact formats. Why we call them high-impact? Because they really stand out. They make you engage with the ad, they catch the attention, they really keep the user looking at this ad. So the first one is the flipbook with the video. We'll show you how to create it in a demo. Basically, when you have existing video assets, you build the entire format directly in DV360. It has the video. When you click on it or hover over it, when you're on desktop, the video starts playing, expands, and you can add their image assets to showcase your products. The parallax, this one needs the use of the Google Web Designer, as you've already seen, but you see how cool it looks. I'm sure you've seen it online. It's not that problematic to build, but at the same time, it's just really engaging. It changes the image when you scroll through it. And there is the swirl. So the swirl allows you to showcase your product in 3D. So it's really, it's a cool option for e-com businesses or for automotive. It really allows the person to zoom in, zoom out, look at the product from all angles, also worth a try. There is a study that shows that users engage more with flipbook versus just a simple autoplay video. And it makes sense because flipbook really stands out. The simple video, it's quite an old format. It is there from the beginning. It's just a video built in the content that you're reading. But flipbook, even though it's an ad, it makes you engage with it. It expands. There's stuff to look at. So considering that it doesn't require any specific skill to build, and it really takes minutes to do it, we really encourage you to try it out.
Yes, that's right, Alex. It is just a repurposing of your current video asset. So you don't need to change the video itself. Flipbook just gives it a different look.
Yeah, exactly.
So,
you want to take it on further?
Sure. So let's also talk about the native formats, because this is a emerging area, a real opportunity for every brand advertiser. So using DV360, you can run native display ads, native app install ads, and native video ads. And also Google as a publisher, you can just utilize one of our mostly used platforms, it is Gmail. So you can run native Gmail ads via DV360 as well. The benefit of native formats is the actual look and feel of the ads itself. It really blends into the environment that you are showing your ad. So it doesn't like disrupt the experience of the user, and it really blends and makes a natural feel. So it's a good opportunity to repurpose and extend the reach of your already existing social assets. And now we already have viewability and third-party measurement and asset-level reporting within DV360, so you can run your native ads in a more effective and efficient way. And then there are also some other emerging formats that you may want to consider. One of them is the audio ads. Now, as you know, digital people, we spend so much time in various environments, and display and video ads are great to reach people, but we have more opportunities on the audio side as well. People like to listen to their favorite music, and they use various devices for it. And also we are really into podcasts as well, for example. So with the audio ads, you get the chance to create new touch points for your clients and to tell your stories to them. We saw that audio creatives have shown really good results in terms of brand recall. For example, it was 60% more. And for the brand interest, it was 52% more with respect to the industry benchmarks. And also, we saw that audio ads drives the incremental reach and therefore reduces the cost per unique user reached. Another format is the lightboxes. So these are a cross-environment expandable ads that gives you more space to tell your story. And it is pretty interactive and immersive. so that you can showcase your different offerings or products to your customers in a single ad. You can just build it directly in DV360, or you can use Google Web Designer to build it. And it runs on the Google Display Network in mobile app, mobile web, and desktop inventories. And while talking about the video opportunities, there is the YouTube part in DV360 as well. With DV360, you can run YouTube TrueView ads and also bumper ads. On the TrueView side, we have all the TrueView in-stream formats, such as TrueView for reach, TrueView for action, etc. And we have the bumper ads to echo your message after showing them maybe the longer formats of your creatives. And also, if you want to be discovered in a more natural way by the people's searches on YouTube, you can also use TrueView discovery ads within DV360. So these were the impactful formats that requires lowest level of customization. But if you want to go to the premium side of it and do some more custom creatives, it is also possible. For example, in your direct deals with publishers, you have the opportunity to use the specific formats according to the design of the publisher itself. So within DV360, it is possible to run publisher-hosted creatives, so that you can just create your creatives that will work the best at the publisher side. And then after the campaign starts, your creatives are being hosted on the publisher side, and it's being shown to the correct people that collides with your targeting options. So you can run the campaign and report on the DV360 site. The only difference is that the creatives are being hosted on the publisher site. It is pretty straightforward, but gives you customization and a premium touch and feel. So let's jump to the wrap-up session. So we will mainly talk about 3 main opportunities and some tips for you. So we see top 3 DV360 creative opportunities now. We have already mentioned some of them, but this is a nice recap. So the first thing is to be data-driven, because using the data and various signals, we can customize our creatives to create the best experience and the personalization for the person that you are showing your ad. And you can do it at a scale, as Alex and I mentioned before. So it really streamlines your personalization needs. And the other opportunity is to be engaging by using the new standing out and engaging formats. And the third one is to be present across different environments and respect and seize all the opportunities that you can touch your customers throughout their daily routines.
And there are the 5 top tips for creative excellence to summarize what we talked about in the past hour. First, please try to drive collaboration between your media, data production, and creative teams. Allow them to work together to create a truly great product. Second, test and use multiple DV360 formats based on your campaign goals. Don't hesitate to try something new, especially that it doesn't really take time or effort to create any of those great formats. Third, add more than one creatives to a line item. Allow the creative optimization to show you which one works best for you in this or that particular case. So don't be afraid to test within the one line item. Tailor the sequence of your formats by using a story IO. So you can read more about the story IO in the support available, but really do not try to always limit your message to a one creative. Create multiple ads, tell a story throughout them, and using the story IO, show every person a story about your brand, about your vision, be really present. And use Google Web Designer. It's completely free. It's a great tool. It allows you to take all your creative process to the next level, and it really is easy to use. So if you have the extra time and you are ready to put some extra effort, give it a try. So let's start the demo. We'll show you how to create two formats.
Yes.
One of them will be data-driven, one of them will be just fancy. So there you go. You log in your advertiser. You go to a creative section, format gallery, and here you see all of the formats. The system will normally suggest you some of the formats. When you click details, you can see the preview of each creative, how it looks like. And let's start with the data-driven. These were panorama, blank slate, and cue card. These are quite simple, so I think the cue card is the most interesting one to test. But again, we encourage you to go and try it for yourself. So you can select any size that you want to show. We'll just look at two so that you have the visibility on the screen. Here are the two sizes that we picked. Upload your logo. You always start with that. So we have some sample logos of non-existing companies here. You upload the background image. It can be an image, it can be a GIF. So here, let's use the GIF to make it more interactive. So you see the logo appears on the right corner. You can preview it at any time, clicking this button, and we'll see now Wonder Woman as our background. There you go. So this would be your background. And now you start tailoring the text. Here is the arrow. Whenever you scroll, the text will change. It can be a three frames that you adjust. So you write one text. I don't know. Let's put Wonder Woman. Your brand. So this is really up to you. And now you see how it appears in the beginning. If we refresh, we'll see the Wonder Woman, the additional text. And bear in mind that all of these points that you see here, all of them we can customize with the dynamic rules. And I'll show it to you in a bit. For it to be more visible, let's copy this one. For example, I want to customize the background. So for a different audience, I want to change Wonder Woman to something else. So I have the second variant selected. I just remove the background and I pick a different one. And we'll change the text. So you see, this is still the same, the one creative. Consider you have multiple variations, 10, 20, 100. You can upload them all in bulk with the bulk option, and then you start customizing it. So within the one creative, we have changing background and the text. Again, any element is changeable. Now we start setting dynamic rules. The idea of dynamic rules, we deliver the right message at the right moment to the right person. We choose a signal. Here, let's choose the audience list. So I want to select two affinity audiences because we're talking about movies here as an example. So let's find movie audience. For example, one will be adventure movie fans and family movie fans. Now we have these two audiences not assigned anywhere. We assign each variation of the creative to the audience that we want to show. So for the action and adventure movie fans, we show the Wonder Woman variation, and the two family movie fans, we select the first one. Now this is done, we can add any other triggers that we've already looked at. Now we would see, we can also set what everyone else sees. For example, people who do not fall in any of these categories of audiences, we can create a third variation and show it to them, or we show them one of the existing variations. So there you go, you have a custom creative for different audiences. It took us 5 minutes approximately. Okay, let's quickly look at the other format, which is the Lightbox with video. So like we showed you in the beginning, if you have an existing video, you can add a touch of engagement to this video. So again, we upload the logo and we add the assets. So the main assets would be, we have a, let's say, YouTube video that you normally show. One of the benefits of it that you can show, for example, now you have a YouTube video, you promote it on YouTube only. This makes it an ad that shows on a non-YouTube inventory. So it automatically increases your reach. We have the video here. We can add assets. For example, we can add multiple images. We'll just add one. The idea here, if the video is an introduction of your brand or a certain product, then the images will be the actual product itself. And you name it. For example, product name. Here we have the generic images, but you would use something else. And product description. And the landing page. Let it be the same, but again, here you would use the landing page that brings to your product. When we view it, we have now the YouTube video. When I hover over it, it starts expanding. Once it expands, it automatically plays. And on the right, we have the images. So if here you have an introduction video to your brand, here you have the products that you sell, with the product name, the description, and when I click on it, it brings me to the product page. You can put as many, you can put multiple assets here. You do not customize it with triggers, but again, this is a different format. This is a high engagement format. If you have the videos running now, test it out. These are the sizes that will show. This is it. Yeah.
It was really straightforward. Now let's jump back to the questions and then kind of finalize this lovely session.
Yes. These are the pre-submitted questions that we picked.
I think I can take this one. So the first question is, if you use DDC, data-driven creatives, how to do in order to avoid issues in Campaign Manager with the shadow campaign that is generated automatically? According to some Google experts, when you work with all the stack, hosting creatives in DV360 is not recommended since you can generate issues in the floodlight. And also the costs don't appear if you have a dashboard solution associated with a child in CM that is not the shadow one. So within Campaign Manager, there are DV360 advertisers for the creatives hosted in DV360. So when you host the creative in DV360 and run it, it automatically creates it in the DV360 advertiser account that you call the shadow campaign right now. And it already wraps all the Campaign Manager tags to those creatives. So the reason of this setup is actually to prevent any conflict in reporting, for example. So if you are hosting your creatives in DV360, do not wrap your Campaign Manager tags because they are being tracked on the DV360 advertiser account within the Campaign Manager. So it will solve the reporting issues that you can create. And that's why we don't say we do not recommend hosting creatives in DV360. Now we have a solution for it. I hope this is enough for this question. Let's go on to the next one. Maybe Alex, you can take this one.
Yes, sure. So the second is it possible to create tap to map or tap to WhatsApp and count the interactions with the creative? Short answer is yes. Longer answer is you should go on WhatsApp, frequently asked questions, pick the section, create a pre-filled link, and it gives you the URL that you put in your ad, and this would be the landing page. It would open WhatsApp automatically. Tap to map, same. You go to the maps documentation. In the developers section, there will be also a link generator. It will be explained to you how to add a parameter of what you want to show on the map, a place, a route to this place, basically anything you want. So yes, you can.
Cool. So the next one says, is it possible to make creative assets from Google Web Designer into dynamic content through Google Studio? Yes, you can. We have just covered in the creative tools part. You can integrate Google Web Designer to Studio and then you can pass your creatives from web designer to studio to add them more dynamic rules, and then you can transfer them to campaign manager and finally DV360. So that's actually all of the questions that we have received, and we kept answering your questions in the chat box as well. So thank you for attending the session. We really enjoyed this one. In the chat box, we will share a feedback form. So we will be so glad if you can share your feedbacks with us. Thank you for taking your time again, and see you on the next editions of the GMP On Air.
Stay tuned, keep safe. Thank you very much, everyone.
Goodbye.